Welcome to the Elusive Truth by the Rich and Larry Show. We hope everyone is doing well during these strange days. We wait for good news and hope for better times ahead. Please sit back and relax as we fall down the rabbit hole.
Hello, Rich.
Gary, how are you doing today?
I'm doing, my friend. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Just sitting here looking at all the crazy clown stuff going on.
You're probably catching a little more than I am. I've had a busy day, but you have anything good running on right now?
Right now is a big hubbub about GameStop and the stocks. You hear anything about that?
Oh, yeah. And AMC Theaters is caught in it too now. They've been
Right.
doing the same thing with the theaters.
Basically, it's the rich robbing from the poor, and the rich got caught.
Well, I hope that's the scenario, and I hope they see where the loopholes were and put in some legislation or some stops for that ever happening again.
See, one of the things is we're not big stock people. I don't know anything about stocks. I'm sure it's not your forte either. You have over $70.8 billion lost yesterday.
Well, let's hope it was all big hedge funds that lost the money and not your average investor.
This was about a group of traders who gathered in Reddit Wall Street Bets forum, have forced hedge funds to back down from a wager that GameStop shares would fall. Apparently, the maverick Republican traders sent the shares of GameStop soaring, making them millionaires. The establishment recorded major losses.
I'm not really sure, and why we know nothing about it, because somehow or another we sniffed out a scam from the get-go.
It's not so much as just what took place, because I guess the hedge funds is betting, and it's basically a bet between what one firm says about another. So what happened though is that this took place, and the stocks of GameStop were something ridiculous, like $24, $34 a share, and they shot up to over $300 a share.
Well, you know what? Let's look at one bright side of it and hope that there was some small guy investors that really made millions.
These apps, that you purchase stocks and from, the common person does, they halted the sale of these. They stopped it so they would recoup their losses or have less losses. That's the big red flag. You can't just, stop this.
Putting a Band-Aid on a cut and the bleeding is still there.
Well, it's going to open up a whole new can of worms of exactly how the Wall Street has been bilking millions, if not trillions, from Americans through this hedge fund and all these crazy stocks. It's part of this, financial collapse that a lot of people are predicting.
Those are the big whales, they're called, whatever you want to call them. They take it all the way up, and then they take it down and sell off and sell off and sell off and buy again at the bottom. And as simple as that, I think.
This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's all coming down.
Well, I know so many people, their entire 401k retirement plan is sitting in the markets.
And we've heard this all the time. They lose everything. Something happens, a crash here, or money stolen or whatever. It happens all the time. And people, they end up with nothing.
Do you think that balloons burst or bubbles? You blow them up too far and pow. I think we're in a bubble right now. It's a matter of when it's going to pop.
Well, it's going to pop shortly here. I mean, just even besides the stock scandal that's going on right now, what about all these people that haven't been paying their rent? That is from people who live in housing all the way to businesses that can't afford their rent.
There's going to be so much commercial space empty. There's going to be landlords are they're going to have to get government subsidies to support them for all these non-paying tenants. There's a whole lot happening in the financial world right now as far as revaluation of currencies around the world. They're talking about the Federal Reserve is completely abolished, I guess, and we're about to go back to a gold standard dollar. The petrodollar is not going to be the controlling dollar that we call it, the petrodollar, the U.S. dollar. All oil has to be bought and traded and sold in U.S. dollars. I think there's just a whole lot changing around the world for as little as I know. I just hear little bits and pieces of it.
Right. Well, what the problem is that it's slowly happening. Our media is still corrupt, so they're not giving us the full story. A lot of this is still going unreported, so we have no clue what's really going on.
Hey, come on. They really wanted to make an example out of Martha Stewart when supposedly she invested $200,000 or something.
That's
Remember that? She went to prison for insider trading?
Yes, that's ridiculous. And the only upswing to that is, it was Martha Stewart. Yeah, so she went to prison, but she went to what I would consider a pretty nice prison, if there is such a thing.
Oh, I think it was a summer camp for big girls.
Her life was inconvenienced a little bit, and yes, she had to be in one spot for a while, but
No, if you're gonna commit a crime, and it's a federal crime, I think the federal penitentiaries are more like a whole different ballgame than state or county jails.
but if it's a white collar crime prison, well, that's different. And if you're with that elite, it's different.
That's where they stick all the people that were politicians, police officers, high and mighty. They say, well, you can't go to regular prison because you'll get killed. We're going to put you in one of these. A lot easier. They probably got color TVs.
Well, exactly. The common person is going to prison.
Yeah. That's what I think is going on right now. Massive arrests. And I did hear some good news about Dominion. Have you heard Dominion file a suit against Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani for like $1 billion or something?
Yes, I did hear about those
Okay,
lawsuits.
you know what the upside of that is? In order to defend themselves, like Rudy and Sidney, they're going to bring in all the evidence of defense, but it's going to expose everything they've gotten on Dominion. That was the stupidest thing, is to go after and sue them. Trump's going to do the same in his impeachment trial that's coming up February 8th. He's going to bring in all the evidence in an open trial. You watch. Perfect place for it.
No, I believe you. Definitely one avenue that's going to happen. I did hear, though, these companies like Dominion, what they'll do is right the last minute, they'll drop the suit. They will realize the error of what they're doing by showing their record.
I don't know if that's going to be possible anymore. I hope that that's one of the avenues to expose the fraudulent machines. So many ways they did it. They tried and they actually used every method possible.
All these states and all these people that certified this, because there was such mass fraud in this voting irregularities, that just starting to come to light.
I don't know if these liberals, Democrats are just so arrogant or so confident that none of this is going to ever be brought into light.
Oh, it's coming to light. Everybody's getting woke, one way or another. They forced us to. They did. They forced us to look into all this mess because we're tired of the narrative.
Yeah, and look what Joe Biden's losing half of anybody that even voted for him already with these crazy executive orders he's put in. All of his people, whatever followers he had, aren't really happy with what he's doing right now.
I know. And unfortunately, it's not Biden. It's who's ever running the country right now.
I think I know who's pulling his strings. The guys with the money. I'm going to say it's George Soros.
Soros?
I'm going that far as to, it's the cabal. It's the elite that are pulling Biden strings. George Soros. Yeah, he's worse than a puppet on the end of a string.
It's nuts that, we still have over 5,000 troops in D.C. We still have fencing a perimeter up around.
Oh, yeah. It's not building. Over, my friend.
A lot of things are not making sense. They just don't add up.
I saw a funny video of Joe Biden signing executive orders. The media was in there and they're trying to make a big deal out of, look at he's in the Oval Office signing executive orders. And he said, hey, I don't even know what I'm signing here. And a voice came over and said, just sign it. Oh, my God. I mean, no explanation, no conversation. All of a sudden, a voice just said, just sign it. I mean, that's what's going on right now. Holy cow.
It's just bizarre behavior, one thing after another, from everybody in the Senate to the House to what's happening in D.C. to what's happening, all over the world. It's just weird time right now.
Going back to the inauguration, I think half or 75% of that was filmed in a studio. Oh, they were showing the crowd. And as Biden's speaking, the backdrop of the crowd kept changing. where Hunter Biden was standing and this and that. And did you see Kamala put her purse on top of the Bible? So she didn't have her hand on it when she was sworn in.
See, weird stuff. Just like, there's weird irregularities.
Weird stuff.
Everywhere.
Totally. I heard that they showed pictures of the White House completely dark, blacked out yesterday at the White House.
See, now, the only people that would know about this are residents that live there and are a little bit like night owls, and they check these things out.
I saw a picture of it yesterday, completely dark.
I've heard the same thing, and then the counter report is that this happens regularly. It helps keep bugs and birds from damaging federal property, so they turn out lights at 3 in the morning, which sounds plausible, but January, right? And it's really cold out, and there's not many bugs flying around D.C.
Oh, man, everything is just getting so exciting here. One of my old speculations was why they let Antifa do that Chad zone and they burned the streets down and nobody was arrested and they were bailed out. And I think that was an intel collection, a data collection time as far as getting to know who all these players were. They were out there every day, and all of a sudden it was like the FBI and the good guys, running stats on everyone that's involved in this so they know who they're going after. Now everything Biden's doing, he's opening up more doors to attorneys and companies, and everybody's exposing themselves more. That's what part of this delay is right now. They're coming out of the woodwork and jumping on the bad guy's evil satanic team.
Something new pops up, and then again, something else is not happening because we're not privy to all this information on what's really going on. All I can say is that something is very strange in the air, and it's doing that for a long time now. And I'm just hoping that the great reveal is starting to open.
Yep, you're so right. Weekends are always times of things to happen too. We're only a day away from the weekend here.
Anyway, thanks again for a good chat.
Always, Rich. Thank you, my friend.
And stay safe. Keep your family warm and happy. We will be talking to you soon.
Absolutely. And all the same to you.
All right, my friend. You take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.